Hello from SlideNerd and hello from Weaves. What's up folks? In this video, we are going to talk about the table layout in Android. Now this is just another view group like your relative layout and linear layout. So first question, what is a table layout? It arranges views in rows and columns. Now what does that mean? Take a look at this image over here. I have column 1, column 2 and column 3. There are 3 different text views on the same row. And then if you see column 1 and column 2, there are 2 another text views which are on a different row. Now this is what your table layout does. It arranges stuff in rows and columns. So how do you define a row? Very simple. Use this class called table row in Java, or use the table row XML tag to define a row in XML. Alright. Now there is no need to define columns. Now remember, once you define a table row, you just keep adding views to it and they automatically translate or turn into columns. Alright. Now if you guys are from an HTML background, you know very well there's a table tag, there's a tr tag, there's a td tag. There is no equivalent for td in Android. Alright, there's just table and tr. Now if you guys are not from an HTML background and you probably are confused about what I just said, don't worry about that because it's not really related to HTML at all. So here, let's see. Each view you place inside the table row forms a column. Very simple. I have 3 text views. I place them one after each other just like that and they become columns automatically. If I had a button over here and an edit text over here, naturally they will also become columns. That's how the table layout works. So here, one more thing you should notice is the table layout. It's a subclass of horizontal linear layout. So next, let us see how the code for this thing looks like. Now if you guys notice column 1, column 2, column 3, there are 3 text views, right? Very simple. You give wrap content for each of them, and there's column 1, column 2, column 3 text. Then they are placed inside this table row XML tag which I just discussed. I have given this an ID over here. The width and height I have given some values, but remember, for a table row, the width and height values do not matter, and neither do the width and height values for these views matter. Now I'll show you that after some time why they don't matter and all, but for now just remember that one. Then you have your text views over here, again 2 more, which is column 1 and column 2, and then they are inside this separate row. Now this is how you define a new row. You say table row and that's gonna go to the next line and start a new row. Alright, and then this entire structure is placed inside this table layout tag. Now again, it's very simple. You guys have previously seen how linear layout and relative layout looks like. Compared to them, this is very simple, right? So next, let's discuss what is a table row. So here, if you guys notice, column 1, column 2, column 3, table row is always match parent in width and wrap content and height. You cannot change this. Each table row is always like that, and that means that you don't have to give your width and layout height to a table row by default, because Android has already given these 2 values. Alright, and next, number of columns in the table layout is decided by the table row having maximum views. Now remember, here you have 3 elements, here you have 2. Now suppose I put 4 down, then that would be the number of columns inside your table layout. There will be 4 columns, and that's how things work. So just to show you guys a small demonstration, take a look. I put 4 buttons over here, and take a look how things adjust over here. There was no space between column 1 and column 2 over here, right? And here if you guys look, column 1 and column 2 have some space in between. I have not written any code to put that space. Android automatically does this with the table layout. Alright, now the table layout adjusts the columns based on the number of elements inside a row. Column width automatically adjusts based on the size of the column with maximum width. Alright, and now let's discuss what happens if you place a view outside a table row but inside a table layout. Now can you do this? That is the first question you have. Yes, you can do this. So here, if you guys take a look, I have the table layout. For width I have given a width and height. Now if you remember, I told you that I'm not going to give a width and height to the table row because it's match parent in width and wrap content in height by default, and I don't need to do anything for that. And for the text view also, I have not given any layout width and layout height over here. The reason, because since you have put the text view inside the table row, it's going to be calculating its width and height automatically. You don't have to do anything for that. Alright, so that's why I have not given, and this is a very good way because you don't have you save a lot of lines avoiding that code, and that makes things very neat. Alright, so here if you see, there's a text view. So here if you see inside, 2 inside and outside. Now if you take a look at this last text view over here, for which I have given a background color and Android text outside the table row. Now take a look, this is outside your table row but inside your table layout. So what happens to that? Well, simple. It goes and occupies a full row over here. That's how things work. So whenever you have a view which is outside your table row, its width is going to be match parent by default and its height is going to be wrap content. Now let's see how we can modify this a little bit. A view outside the table row and inside the table layout occupies match parent and wrap content by default. Alright, so let's go and see how that looks. So here there's some slight modifications which I have done over here. Alright, if you guys take a look over here, you have the same table row, you have the same text view over here, which says inside, and there's another text view which says inside too. Now but take a look, what I've done over here is I've given this text view, which is outside your table row, a layout height of match parent, and as you guys can see, this blue color has filled up the entire screen, indicating that now this text view, which is outside table row, is taking up match parent in width and match parent in height. Now if you add another view below this, it's not going to be seen because this one already has the height of match parent, right? That's how things worked in linear layout, if you guys remember, and that's the same way they work in a table layout, because a table layout is a specialized subclass of linear layout, right? So I hope you guys have understood something out of this vid. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel, comment, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you guys. In the next video, I'm going to start discussing about the different attributes of table layout and how you can customize the appearance in your table layout further. So please stay tuned. Please feel free to share stuff with your friends or colleagues who may need help in Android. Well, thanks for sharing in advance.